They reached all the way out in left field to come up with this story to justify why the Great Wall was built, huh? Not accurate at all. Still may be a good time though. So the Great Wall follows the story of these two characters played by Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal. And basically what happens is that they're swindlers and they're traveling to Asia in search of black powder, or as we know it, gunpowder. And upon arriving, they find themselves stuck in the middle of this war where the Chinese army is defending the Great Wall against these giant lizards that look like mutated Komodo dragons. And basically you have the Great Wall. Now, as soon as I saw the first trailer to this, I was instantly drawn to the movie because I'm a huge fan of Asian culture and the mythological beliefs and the lore and everything that they believe in. So I was instantly drawn in, and the first act of this movie really solidified my initial interest in this movie. I enjoyed seeing the huge spectacle of their army, and I really enjoyed how they had it actually broken into different factions, and the factions were represented by these different colors. Like you had the foot soldiers that were black, you had like this suicide squad of diving women who were blue, and so on and so forth, and I really enjoyed that. Which leads me into the action of this movie. The action scenes in this movie were great. I really feel like they did an amazing job portraying this grand scale army and this grand scale attack by these mutated lizard dragon looking things. And when I found myself watching these scenes, I was really hooked. Now, with that being said, once the action scenes were over, the movie really took a dip. Once they had to rely on the actual acting and the character development and things like that, I feel like the movie really slowed down. And I'm not saying that the pacing in the movie was bad. It was just that when the action and the battles were going on, it was so intense and so visually appealing that once it stopped and you got to the conversations and all the other things that happened in between the epic scenes, it just really felt like the pace went from way up here to like way down here somewhere. And I found that to be a little bit frustrating for myself. Now, speaking on character development, let's talk about the acting in this movie. Matt Damon is one of the main characters in this film, and he plays this archer guy, and he's really slick with the bow. I mean, he's amazing. He's almost not quite Legolas level off Lord of the Rings, but he's pretty darn good. And as far as his acting went, I feel like he did a pretty good job. I mean, I can't really find any hiccups or flaws in it. He did, I guess, what was required for the movie. The other main character in this movie is his partner, Pedro Pascal, and I really enjoyed those two's chemistry together. Pedro did a good job. He had some funny one-liners in there, and I just really liked how their personalities really balanced with one another, and it made it feel like they genuinely had chemistry there. Outside of those two, there were a whole bunch of Asian actors and actresses, and I really don't know their names. You had William Dafoe in there. I don't know why he was in there. I mean, I guess you had to add the snake in the movie. I don't know. And with all that aside, like I said, the visuals in this movie were outstanding. When the shit goes down, it goes down. And it's just really an overall pleasing spectacle once you're watching it. Like I said earlier, between the fighting and the acting, the pacing does get a little wonky. But, I mean, overall, I feel like the action scenes really made up enough so that when it did have the downtime in between the battles, that it was annoying, but it wasn't to the point where it made the movie not enjoyable. I mean, the movie tries to throw this big character development twist in, but they have Matt Damon's character go from just being this swindler who's there for just the black powder to, oh, now I'm interested in the general of the army and I'm trying to show that I'm a good person and trustworthy. And I understand the attempt that they were making, but I just really didn't care for it because how great the battles were. I just really wanted to see more fighting and more action, and I really wish they had touched on the lizard things more and went more in depth about what they were. But alright, so to bring everything back around, the plot of the story had a very interesting concept. It drew me in from the time I saw the first trailer. The execution was kind of hit and miss. The acting in this movie, it served its purpose. I mean, there weren't no outstanding Oscar-worthy performances, but I mean, the movie was more based on the spectacle of the army and the enemy than it was the characters, in my belief. Matt Damon does a good job. Pascal does a pretty good job. William Dafoe is pretty irrelevant. He has a side quest, but who cares? I enjoyed how they had the character development, though, how the character goes from just being basically a mercenary who fights for money to like actually having a reason to live. Now, the visuals, amazing. When you see the wars, when you see the army, when you see the formations, it's all beautiful. The pacing of the movie, like I said, when they're fighting, when they're not fighting, yeah. So to bring everything back around, I would definitely have to say that this movie is probably a midday matinee. If you're into this kind of stuff. Alright, so that's it for this one, folks. So for the comment combo today, I actually have 2 questions. The first one is, have you seen The Great Wall? If so, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment below and let me know. The second one is, with Matt Damon's character being an archer, who's your favorite badass archer in movies? I know mine personally, Legolas, of course. But whatever you think, also comment below and let me know. Now, as always, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, subscribe to see more from me, Mike Proc. Later.